Okay, let's unpack this. So picture this. You've been a bricklayer for what, years, maybe decades even? You really know your stuff. The feel of the brick, the mix, laying a perfect course, second nature. But now suddenly you're hitting this wall. Sometimes literally, right? Because you don't have that little piece of plastic, the right CSCS card. For ages, your skill was enough. But, well, things have changed. And you're probably thinking, how does all my hard-earned experience fit into this, without starting over?
That's exactly it. That's the challenge so many skilled, experienced people are bumping up against right now. The way UK construction sites work, it's different now. Getting on site, getting jobs,
Yeah.
it increasingly hangs on having that current valid CSCS card.
A big shift.
A really big shift from how things used to be, yeah.
And this deep dive, this is really for you listening, the experienced pro trying to figure this out. We've looked at the sources on this, our mission today. To pull out the essential info, the practical route maybe, showing how your actual hands-on experience is the key asset to getting that card you need now. We're talking translating that skill into, well, official recognition.
Absolutely. The whole point isn't that your experience doesn't matter. It matters hugely. It's about understanding how the system actually lets that experience count towards the formal bits. You shouldn't have to go back to square one. Definitely not.
Okay, so let's start there. Why exactly is this card so essential today? What actually happens if if you don't have the right one?
Well, the immediate thing, and it's often the most frustrating, is just being turned away at the site gates. Simple as that. Many main contractors, big projects, they have these strict policies now. You need the card for your role to get through the gate. It's become a basic check.
Wow. So it's not just maybe missing a job, it could be getting sent home from one you thought you had.
Precisely. And the knock-on effects are, well, significant. Obviously, you miss out on job opportunities if you can't get on certain sites. That's huge. But it also kind of caps your career. If you can't get onto sites or take roles that need the card, then things like pay rises, promotions, they get harder to come by.
So it really limits where your skills can actually take you.
Ceiling on it, yeah.
It's gone from being, I don't know, maybe a nice to have or just for certain roles to basically the key to the door for work and moving up.
That's a good way to put it. It's fundamental now. But on the other hand, having the right card, it does some really important things for you. It's like official portable proof you know what you're doing. It tells employers, clients, everyone that you meet the industry standard. Not just skill, but safety too. That's crucial.
Health and safety awareness, right?
Exactly. And it just opens up those job prospects that are, frankly, closed off otherwise.
It's like the industry's formal nod saying, yep, this person's qualified and safe.
It is.
Yeah.
And it standardizes that nod across the board.
Okay, the stakes are clear then. Card's essential. So how does an experienced brickie, someone who learned it all on the job, actually get certified? What's the path?
Right. So it breaks down into a few key steps. First, you've got to figure out the correct card for you. For an experienced bricklayer, we're almost always looking at the blue skilled worker card.
Blue skilled worker. Okay, that makes sense. Shows you're a proper tradesperson, not just starting out.
Exactly. Then, step 2 is meeting the qualification requirement for that blue card. And typically this means you need to show competence equivalent to a level 2 NVQ in bricklaying.
Okay, hold on. This, I imagine, is where a lot of experienced guys think, hang on, an NVQ? I haven't seen a classroom in 20 years. How am I supposed to get an NVQ now?
And this is the absolute crux of it, where your experience is not just relevant, it's actually the solution the sources point to. You're absolutely not expected to go back to college from day one. Your years of practical skill, that's the pathway to achieving the NVQ.
Okay, so the NVQ isn't about learning it all again. It's about getting formal credit for the skills you've already got down pat from doing the job for years.
Exactly. It's usually done through something called OSAT. That stands for On-Site Assessment and Training. It's specifically designed for experienced workers. So instead of lessons, you have a qualified assessor come and watch you working on your actual site. Doing the tasks you do normally, they'll work with you, gather evidence photos, maybe witness testimonies, build a portfolio that shows your skills meet the NVQ standard.
So they literally assess you doing the job you're already good at. That must take away a lot of the worry about classrooms or retraining.
That's precisely the idea.
Yeah.
It recognizes your prior learning and your current competence. You carry on working, earning, while the assessment happens right there on your job.
Okay, that sounds like the missing piece for so many people. Assess the NVQ through OSAT, based on experience. What else is needed?
Well, alongside getting the NVQ sorted, there's a mandatory safety test everyone has to pass.
Ah, the CITB test. Health, safety, and environment.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Its multiple choice covers the essential safety and environmental knowledge you need on site. It's a standard thing, and honestly, there's loads of preparation stuff available online apps, books to help you revise for it.
Okay, so the two big hurdles are get the NVQ recognized via experience using OSAT and pass that safety test. Then what's next?
Then it's basically the application stage. You submit everything to CSCS, VS, proof you've got the NVQ, proof you passed the CITB test.
And for that application, what kind of documents, what proof are they looking for?
You need your standard ID, passport or UK driving license, something with your photo. And crucially, for the NVQ assessment and the application, you need evidence relating to your actual work experience. The sources say this could be things like references from past employers saying what you did, maybe a portfolio with pictures or descriptions of your work, your specific input on jobs. Even timesheets can help show you've been working steadily in the trade.
So basically, any records you might have kept about your work history could actually help document this process.
Definitely. Especially for that OSAT route. That kind of history gives the assessor valuable context and backup evidence. You'd also include proof of any formal qualifications you do already have, if any. But like we said, if you don't have formal papers from way back, your work experience is what builds the foundation for the NVQ through OSAT.
It sounds like the system is genuinely trying to sort of build a bridge between that traditional learning by doing and this newer need for formal proof.
That's a fair way to describe it, yeah. It's trying to adapt so that proving skill gets recognized within the rules we have now.
We mentioned the blue skilled worker card is the main goal. Just quickly, are there other cards? Why aren't they usually the right fit for an experienced brickie?
Yeah, just for context, from what we looked at, there's the green laborer card. That's really for general site duties, entry-level stuff.
Sure.
It doesn't reflect a bricklayer's skill at all. Then you might hear about the gold supervisor card. That needs a higher NVQ, maybe level 3 or 4, and it's for people in supervisory roles managing others.
So green's too basic, gold is for the gaffer, blue is right in the middle for the skilled tradesperson.
Exactly. The blue skilled worker card is the recognized benchmark for someone competent in a specific trade, like bricklaying. And the sources really connect this. If you've been working steadily as a bricklayer for, say, over 5 years, your experience level pretty much guarantees you meet the criteria for that level 2 NDQ. It makes you a prime candidate for OSAT and ultimately that blue card. Your time on the tools directly points to your eligibility.
That's a really key point there. Your years served directly translate into being eligible for the NVQ through OSAT. It's not about proving you can learn it, it's proving what you already know and do.
Precisely. It's about validating the expertise you already possess.
And once that NVQ assessment is done, signed off, and you've passed the safety test.
Getting the actual blue CSCS card is then mostly an administrative step. Submit the paperwork, pay the fee, and once it's all approved, they issue the card. It's typically valid for 5 years before you need to renew it.
Okay. But dealing with all that, the forms, booking tests, it can seem like a hassle, right? Especially when you're busy working. Is there help available for people?
Yes, the sources do mention that support is available. There are services that can help guide you through enrolling for the right NVQ, especially setting up the OSAT process, which uses your experience.
Yeah.
They can also help with booking the CITD test, handling the CSCS application forms, chasing things up if needed, trying to make it smoother for busy people.
That's really good to know. Support to cut through the red tape a bit.
Yeah, makes it feel more achievable.
Okay, let's just recap then. For you, the experienced bricklayer listening to this deep dive, the big takeaway is your years of skill, your hands-on knowledge, that's not the problem. That's actually your qualification.
That's the absolute core message. The path involves getting that level 2 NVQ in bricklaying, and for experienced workers, the main way is through OSAT, that on-site assessment, checking the skills you already have.
Combine that with passing the CITB Health, Safety, and Environment test.
And then you apply for that vital blue skilled worker card. That's what validates your status today, gets you on site, opens up those jobs.
You're not going backwards. You're just getting the official stamp on the skills you've spent a career building.
Couldn't put it better myself.
And that leaves you with maybe an interesting thought to chew on as you look into this. If a bricklayer's real skill, that deep experience, is built over years, hands-on, brick by brick, what does it actually mean for construction when a formal card becomes the main gatekeeper? And how well is the system really bridging that gap between proven ability and the documents now required? Something to mull over.